So great to see everyone again. Thanks so much for joining us for our third webinar. Just a little bit of housekeeping, just like last time, or if you're new, you can hover over the bottom of your screen and click chat, and there you can enter any questions. I suspect this time we'll have a little bit more questions just because it's a really interesting topic. So feel free to punch anything in there and then I will answer them at the end. So I think we can get started because I think just about everyone is logged on that's supposed to join us. I might have to admit a few more people, so excuse me if I'm clicking away. So tonight we're going to talk about sustainability. So today is Earth Day, and it's a very important day, especially with COVID-19, just because, you know, I almost feel as if COVID is Mother Nature putting us all on a giant timeout and telling us to sit in the corner and think about what we've done to her. And, you know, really her way of showing us that we are just mere mortals here. And on her terms. So it's an interesting day. It's the first Earth Day that the United States has actually participated in. So that is, you know, a big feat because Europe's really been driving this force, you know, and Canada in its own way, but we're a much smaller beast. So, you know, at Hangar9, we wholeheartedly believe in the concept of conscious luxury. We curate and buy our sister collections with the intention that our pieces are timeless and have longevity in your wardrobe. Our goal is to make conscious connections with the clothing in which we wear and when we're dressing. We believe that luxury requires the same attention to supporting sustainability as anything else does. So while fashion can be seen as essence of unnecessary consumption, sustainability is a balancing act and one that everyone is still trying to figure out, but every step we can take makes a difference. So here are some of the hard facts. Every year, the fashion industry uses 93 billion cubic meters of water. That's enough to meet the needs of 5 million people. And unfortunately, where a lot of fashion is made is in countries that are already struggling with a water crisis. So other things are, you know, around 20% of water waste worldwide comes from fabric dyeing and treatment. So that's why you're going to see for the upcoming season, there's going to be a lot more neutral tones. So these soft kind of hues, which are just a much easier, more sustainable dyeing process. Of the total fiber input used for clothing, 87% is either incinerated or ends up in a landfill. The average consumer wears a piece of clothing 7 times before disposing of it. And the average person today buys 60% more clothing than they did in 2000. And as a result of that, they end up disposing twice as much clothing. So we'd like to share a few of the steps that we at Hangar9 are taking and some of the things we plan to take in the future to make fashion a little bit more sustainable and just play our part in this global, you know, kind of dilemma of how we are going to move forward. I also think it's really important that the consumer understands the life cycle of a garment because this sheds light on the processes, the people, and just the general, like what goes into making the garment, which is really the determining factor of the price of the garment. And you know, fashion is able to offer bottom low pricing, mainly because the garments are made in typically very unethical, unsustainable, and frankly inhumane environments, and typically in third world countries. So this is why, and if you shopped with us, you will know this, we always kind of emphasize cost per wear. And we really want quality over quantity to be top of mind. So although the garments you invest in cost you more initially, the cost per wear is significantly lower than it would be if you were buying a lower tier Gap, Banana Republic, Cobb Monaco, or even fast fashion H&M, Zara, etc. So our labels that we try to promote, although they range in price point, the cost per wear is significantly lower than that of anything else. And every additional year that the garment is worn is you know, another year that we get with less pollution, less of a carbon footprint, and basically longevity. There's a really great old Japanese thing called boro, B-O-R-O, and it means to take something old and bring it to new life, whether through mending, through alterations, through, you know, just simple modifications, or just repairing something. It shows that you appreciate the craft that went into developing the garment, and it's seen as a new status symbol. So, you know, there's lots of great things that we can do on that front also. Both of our locations have great seamstresses, and there's nothing we love more than restructuring an old jacket made out of great fabric. So if you shop with us regularly, you will often hear us reference the fabrication of a garment. This is the cornerstone of our business. Some of the globe's most luxurious fabrics are natural, such as cotton, linen, cashmere, and when sourced ethically, they are fibers that are sustainable as well as beautiful. More than any other fiber, cashmere is actually biodegradable and renewable. With this said, there's challenges in the cashmere industry which impact the environment, and of course you have to take that in consideration when buying. But that's why we've partnered with such designers as Brochu Walker, Repeat Cashmere, Wolford, who have all made a commitment to animal welfare and maintains the highest in social standards. There's some other really great fabrics out there to bring to your attention. You know, cotton is a good one. It's a natural fabric. It does require a lot of water, but if you kind of go with more of an organic route is always better. Eileen Fisher is great. A lot of her cotton is organic. Repeat Cashmere sweaters for the fall 2020 collection will have a whole series of organic cottons and cashmeres, but Tencel, which is similar to viscose, otherwise known as rayon, is something that a lot of people have a misconception about. It's a light cellulose fabric, which means it's curated by dissolving wood pulp. So it's 50% more absorbent than cotton and requires less energy and water to produce. So Tencel is a great alternative and used in a lot of things. Eileen Fisher, a lot of the new collection that we just received in store is all made of Tencel and cotton, which is really, really great. It's a nice, super soft, luxurious fabric, but it's also moisture wicking and has antibacterial qualities to it. So silk is another really great fabric that we love, but you know, there are some controversies around it. It does stain, so unfortunately the life cycle of silk is a little less of that than linen or cotton, which actually gets stronger with wash and wear. But most of the designers that we carry and we source from get their fabrics from Como, Italy. So Como's fabric mills have been around since early 1900s, and they produce what's called piece silk. So piece silk causes no harm to the silkworms, as the silkworms are able to turn into moths and emerge naturally from their cocoons. And then the silk is actually gathered from the forest after the moths have flown away. But there's also some really interesting discoveries with spider silk. So this is actually a vegan silk, and it can be done in a lab, which you know, you can produce more of, which is how the fashion industry will really kind of introduce it. But there's lots of really great new and upcoming things that are happening on the fabric end that will ultimately aid the production. So production is the next step of the fabric. And these are all the things that have to happen once the designer has designed the garment. So just so you understand what goes into it. The good thing is that there's a lot more money and a lot more attention being put into research and development on sustainability. So the designers in Europe, who really are at the forefront, like I said, are using mills that recycle, purify, and reuses up to 70% of the water that they use from their dye houses, which is fantastic because water is one of the biggest issues. And then for fall 2020, we're introducing several knitwear pieces that will be dye-free and organic, but also I would like to model. The dress that I'm wearing and the sweater that I'm wearing is from Wolford, and they're actually compostable. So it's the Aurora collection. This is one of the other really great pieces. And compostable materials are made from organic matter so that they break down. So in the end, the product is really actually improving the soil health. There's a really great kind of flow chart on the back. I don't know if everyone can see that, but it basically speaks to about the process of wearing, and you can wear up to 300, wear and wash up to 300 times. So you don't have to worry that it's going to literally biodegrade on your body or anything like that. And then you literally just put it in, it produces bionutrients in the soil, and then it essentially helps fertilize your garden. So there's this whole other movement of kind of creating a cycle of clothing. Another really, really, really big controversy in the fashion industry right now is with denim. You know, and I have some not great news for us comfort freaks, but, you know, the denim industry is doing certain things moving forward that you'll see specifically for fall, but also for spring, that have to do with making them more reusable and recyclable, because that's really how we're going to get the most sustainability out of denim. And some of those things are, you're going to see the resurgence of the old button fly as opposed to a zipper fly. And the reason for this is that zippers are not reusable. So once you rip them out of the garment, you can't actually put them back in and reuse them, where buttons are reusable, so you can use them over and over again. Another kind of technique is the spandex cotton. So a garment can be recycled up to 3 times and repurposed into other materials, or you can, with organic cotton, for example, you can just reweave it into an organic cotton thread. But it can't have more than 2% spandex. So you're going to see kind of the resurgence of what we call like raw denim, which is going to be a 98% or more, even 100% denim. So like those old school mom jean Levi's are definitely coming back. So they have a little bit more break-in required, but they're much better for the environment, and you're going to see a lot more of that. I'm happy to announce that the brands that we already carry at Hangar9 have made a commitment to make 60 to 70% of their collections fully sustainable by 2021. So those brands are Mother Denim, Frame, Joe's, and then each collection is doing its part. So Bro Shoe Walker, like I said, will be fully sustainable moving forward. Repeat sweater as well. And the other thing that's super important to us and important to mention is that we buy mostly, if we can, we buy mostly Canadian and European designers. We carry very few US suppliers, you know, for some of these reasons, other reasons as well. But the nice thing about Canadian designers is that we're lessening our footprint by shipping, because no matter how much you recycle the fabric, you still have to ship it back overseas and back and forth. So there's a bit of controversy there, but that's why we really try to promote as many local Toronto designers as possible. Vancouver has a great assortment of really great talent, one of them being Obaki, who I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with, but she's a really great company. It's 100% non-for-profit. She focuses on sending all of the proceeds from the sales of her garments to building water wells, mainly in South Sudan, but all throughout Africa. She also is doing some really great initiatives with teaching local artisans how to dye indigo more efficiently, create shea butter. So she's doing some really amazing initiatives as well, which all help with the circle of life, the circle of the garment, and, you know, really kind of empowering the people who build these products for us. There's also a really great company out of Vancouver called Airtight. This is their raincoat, which is actually 94% recycled polyester from water bottles. So it's a really great product. It's all completely water sealed, fully technical, has a hood. So this is a great sustainable product also. And then of course, Eileen Fisher, who you'll see behind me, the blue dress, her collection, she does an amazing job. She's been pushing sustainability for 35 years, so almost as long as Jojo Fisher has. And she really is doing a great job to make sure that most of her collection, 100% of her linen for the first time ever this year, is actually recycled, which is a really great feat. And linen, as you know, just gets better with age. So that's something you can have in your wardrobe for years and years and years to come. But I'd also like to focus our attention to on some of the great services that we offer that aid in sustainability. So the wardrobing planning model is a really great way to be sustainable because, again, you're investing in more quality over quantity. And then the closet editing. For me, closet editing is really the best way to extend the life cycle because, you know, when we go into your closet, our number one goal is to evaluate what you already have. So to really see kind of what's there, what we can work with. And a lot of the times that has to do with, you know, tweaking older items and restructuring jackets because the fabric is really great. Anything like that. And then another huge part about the whole sustainability movement and conscious luxury is the concept of giving back. And with a closet edit, you know, there's definitely going to be a pile of pieces that are just well worn and we can't salvage, we can't bring back to life. But at the same time, there's always a pile of clothes that, you know, just maybe aren't right for you, but will be perfect for somebody else. And we try to actively donate as much as we can to Dress for Success, She Works, Women's Community House, anywhere that really will take the garments and provide them to women to extend the life cycle of those garments as well. Our last resort is always going to be disposing of the particular garment. We are working with one of our local distributors also to try and coordinate a denim buyback program where we will take back old denim and send it for recycling, and you can actually track the cycle of that garment. So you can see what it will be made into. Not always is it made into more denim. Sometimes it's made into mattresses or polyfill for furniture, things like that, but you can at least track the process of your garment, which is super cool. And then the other few things I'd like to just point out are our Hangar9 packaging. So back in actually 2014, we changed our packaging to be Hangar9 and we went all sustainable. So it's all reusable, recycled cloth bags and garment bags. And so we're trying to do everything that we can to possibly, you know, curve that other curve we need to curve of sustainability and being good for the environment. And you know what, this I think is going to be a really great movement actually for the environment, this COVID-19, although not fun for any of us. I think, you know, Delhi, the skies are blue, they can see mountains that they've never seen before, air pollution is way down. So I really hope that something good does come of COVID-19, and that is that Mother Nature gets her well-deserved deep breath and has a chance to finally breathe again. But yeah, so that's kind of what Hangar9 is doing for sustainability and what we're doing to honor Earth Day, and we're trying to honor her every day, not just today. And I will open the floor up for any questions if anyone has any, and feel free to unmute if you like, because we're just a small group. So go ahead and unmute, and if you can't, just let me know. No questions? I answered them all perfectly. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we will see you next Wednesday with Lisa for another webinar on how to accessorize in your closet. So layering necklaces and all the tips and tricks for using accessories to kind of make this top up profiling a little bit more exciting. So again, thank you so much for spending your evening with us, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you, Rachel.
Miss you.